show. Really appreciate it.
No, absolutely. We are actually almost 3,000 subs as well, so you guys have been killing the like button as of recently. So if you can just go ahead, if you're hopping in right now or watching later, take a moment, hit the like button. It's a really easy way to support the pod. But we're so close to 3,000 subs, and it's, I mean, the beginning of the off season. Fun. I really want to don't get me wrong, but it can. It's soft to an extent. And you know, that meter. All the big guys over there have really been talking get this one started. Gator's going to be there. It's a matter of like, where's Justin or what are they going to get? That's almost the question I feel like we're getting here.
Yeah,
but I'm excited to kind of.
You're absolutely right. There's three big things that kind of happened. The Senior Bowl ended, and all the reports from the beat writers who were there, because really almost every Chicago Bears staff was there. Polls, Eberflus, the new hires, right? They were all at the Senior Bowl. The talk of the town was that, hey, I think most people kind of agreed that we're going to Caleb. And then you had Ian Rappaport for no reason backing up
No, absolutely. Before we get to this pick, I'm going to go ahead and big episode here on the pod. What's up, how we doing? How we doing, Cam? How are you doing pipping already? How's the exhausting Bears week?
Hey, man, when you leave very few mistakes on tape that I worked out. Like this team
Cat, we appreciate it. Before we hop into it, if you don't know Jimmy Tapper, he is the Captain Big Hook, the 1000, long-time Chicago legend. Also has a YouTube great details, the recap. Very easy to find. I watch it, Vicky watches it, you should too. But Catman, before we hop into, obviously Bears, Justin, Caleb, what we're going to talk about, how are you doing? How's the offseason treating you? Are you excited about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm fired up.
There is no real off season for something like this because we talk everything in terms of livestock. You get one of these guys Blackhawk and then obviously the Bears, us being the home of the Bears is number one. It is 24/7, 365 because somebody that has credibility, somebody tweets something, bam, there's our show the next day because we go viral. That's just the way
it is unique how social is kind of taking over the news cycle. It's definitely different from when even I was a kid. I got everything from ESPN News, Sports Center, and now it's like anybody. You think you were saying?
No, I was going to say, hats off to you, because sometimes we'll be trying to catch just Bears stuff, and it's like homeless. It's just like, you're just like, refresh, up, that's this, that. But doing all the sports, hats off. Yeah, it's got to be exhausting. You know what? It's for my life. My wife understands who I am. My kids understand. My kids don't understand. But it's what I do. I'll get off with you guys. I'll eat dinner with my wife. She's got work to do. She's on the leadership team in Lou Malnati. And I'll be on the couch watching Kansas State or Notre Dame. And then this thing is with me 24/7. I don't understand people in our business who turn their phone off. I don't get it. I've got and I have to get up here and react to that stuff. And I've had people who work with me and go, oh man, when I go home, I turn my phone off. You're in the wrong business then, man. You are. Because whether it's a trade, what if you found out tonight at midnight, Ryan Poles just traded Justin Fields? Or traded the New England Patriots. Bam! It's emergency podcast time. You gotta go.
That's a great way to say it, to be honest. I feel a little bit more motivated talking about the quarterback situation now. So, Cap, you kind of brought it up here. Caleb, Justin, haven't heard about it. It's obviously a huge conversation right now. Colin Cowherd kind of lit a fire last week. I kind of wanted to start there about Caleb maybe not wanting to teach Chicago. Today was the bump for the most part. Do you ever believe that for a second though in regards to just that report? And then how would you think his dad may be playing a role? I know he's kind of a little bit more confident, a little bit more vocal, but what do you think about that entire story?
So I did not put any real credence into what Colin said. The Colin $6 million because he was rich. He could have stopped. He's very talented. But I listening to it and then going back and listening to it again, there's no way that's something somebody told me. There is no way. First of all, somebody I trust, Albert Greer from Monday Morning Quarterback, who's a good friend of mine, said, if you're going to do that, your agent is the one who calls up Ryan Poles and says, hey, just let you know, this isn't going to work. We're not going to. It's not getting leaked to Colin Cowherd. It's not getting leaked to you, me, to any of it. That's how it's handled. He has Mark who wrote it. He picked a big name agent, and that guy is going to run interference for you. So I never believed it. And the bottom line is, Ryan Poles has the ultimate trump card. That is, he owns the #1 pick. They can call him up and go, we're not coming. And he can say, good luck to you. I'll see you next year when you go back in the draft. He is not sitting out leaving. Essentially, with his endorsement, $60, $70 million guaranteed dollars minimum on the table. No chance. Plus, like if you told me the Niners had the second pick, okay, trying to push your way to there. I get it. Washington, they'll get rid of their owner for the sexual harassment, all that other stuff, and they don't have a great case. So Bears have a way better situation. And this city versus that city, stop. If this kid, if they take it, and he gives what they think he did, this generation of amazing players, and he leads the Bears to greatness, he will own this country, and he will end up on the Mount Rushmore.
That was my first thought too. It's like, oh, really? Chicago, one of the biggest markets, that's been starving for a superhero to come in and take the role. Would you rather go to DC? Like, you'd rather force your hand to go to DC? I was like, it doesn't really. You don't see that. I mean, I know it's happened previously with Eli Manning, John Elway having that once every 20 years, but I don't know. It just sounded a little fishy. Especially he doesn't even have an agent. So, correct. That's I don't know. And to be honest, though, the Bears are in a really good spot for a young quarterback when you think about the long-term, which is rare to say, especially for a team that has the first overall pick. So overall, I didn't really buy either. But I had another question for you, Cap, in regards to just Justin Fields. If they do kind of get rid of him, there's a question here. What do you think the return? What value does he have in the league? What is your kind of thought?
See, I like Justin. You know, there's this narrative out there that those of us in the media that say we take Caleb must not like Justin. Hey, man, if Justin is the guy ducking under center next September in a Bears uniform, I root for the Chicago Bears. That helmet right back here, I don't know if you guys can see that. That's a Justin Fields helmet.
Signed to
yeah, Justin Fields #1. I love Justin Fields, but I'm also not nice to let's do this quarterback. And I'm not saying Justin is a dude. If you get that guy, you gotta take him. So let Ryan Poles do his work, and then at the end of it, he says, well, he checked all the boxes, I gotta take the guy. Cincinnati Bengals were overwhelmed with offers. We want Joe Burrow. We'll give you 3 number 1s and this player and that player. And they went, nope, we need the dude. And they took him. They made the right call. That's what I think. If he's a guy, he's got a lot of work he's got to do. Boy, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the first time in the like, I just, the value of that number one is so, like, what's this chance that you will then fall into even top 5 within the next couple of years, right, to be bad enough to get that dude?
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. If you are Ryan Poles, and when you took the job, you got to pick a quarterback, or you got to get this thing on the table. Ryan Pace, nice guy, he works for Atlanta because he wasn't doing this job. Okay, now you pass on Caleb Williams, and he's young. And right now, Justin is the worst best quarterback in the NFC North. Let's assume Caleb Williams is that dude. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, the team traded him to AFC Rescue Players. We could have had that guy. And here we are just fucking along with like an 18th ranked quarterback. That's what happened. If I'm your owner, I'm calling you in. I'm going, we had the number 1 pick last year, and we passed on CJ Stroud. And that's okay, we made a good trade. Now there was another guy there. We had the number 1 pick twice, and the 2 generational quarterback, and we didn't get either of them. You're fired. Get out. You better make the right decision. I believe this single decision will define his career for the rest of it. Because if you keep Justin, and Justin is great, and Caleb's off somewhere, you're a genius. Conversely, if you take Justin and Caleb as your star, and Justin never quite gets there, you're getting fired. So you better make the right decision.
Yeah, I think there's less risk with Caleb. Like doing selfies and I'm Ryan Poles, I buy myself time to have this position over as well. Like, yes, I feel like this game has
let him do his homework and talk to everybody. And you know, it's amazing. I was talking to somebody who got drafted many years ago. He's like, dude, they went back and talked to me. Because the guy I was talking to said, yeah, I got into a fight. And I was in 4th grade, even in 3rd grade. They wanted to know why I got into a fight with a kid. Oh, you're back in 3rd grade? They leave no stone unturned. But when you're going to guarantee somebody not only the money, but he's the face of your multi-billion-dollar organization, they want to know, is that a good person? Can I trust that guy? Because if he gets in trouble, and he's all over ESPN and Fox and everything, it's not just his name, it's your organization.
Yeah, that leads me to a follow-up. Because, as we know, 2017, he kind of had a situation. I don't know if you've heard of this quarterback. We could have. Sound familiar? Yeah. We could have taken him, right? But instead, obviously, we traded up with 3 to and took him. So, you could have paired for there's not much trust with the I think that's recently changed. At least that's how David I feel. We kind of trust Ryan Poles. So my question is for you: do you have trust that Ryan Poles will actually be able to make the right decision, whether that is sticking with Fields, or with Caleb, or even maybe there's a mysterious route, May, Daniel, something like that?
I do for this reason. Ryan Pace, again, really good guy. He had conviction on a quarterback. I love somebody that had conviction in it. If he was right, nobody gives Ryan risk that he gave him 2 or 3 picks from 1. He was getting called praise his thing. He was like, they're coming to get my guy. Okay, nobody cares. If you're right, Mitch Trubisky is playing like Patrick Mahomes, nobody gives a shit. Sorry if I swore on you. No, you're good.
Unfiltered cap.
Nobody cares. But he was wrong. He works in Atlanta now in the secondary role. They also had to be on front. He did not
First of all, he did not hire John Fox. GM, we're going to give you this veteran in the field. If you think he's good enough to be your GM, let him hire his coach. He wanted to hire Dan Quinn. That's who he was going to. Nope, you got to take John Fox. Now, he doesn't trust John Fox to tell him what he wants to do at quarterback. This is a fact. And so he goes down the stumble by himself, and he doesn't want to do it. Other than maybe just Fox had no idea. John told me this with a cocktail in his hand. He was not on the Super Bowl party after he got fired. He said, "Dude, this is true." 5 o'clock, the draft at 7. 5 o'clock, Facebook. This made us creative. What? You thought that they were taking Jamal Adams, safety, and Jamal, who was a really good player. He ended up going 5. Multiple times. That's who you thought they would take. And he said if we were taking a quarterback, he wanted Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson was never going to play for the Bears. So I'll tell you a quick story about that in a second. So, oh my God. Really? Where? This is the 10 best guys, your head coach, your quarterback coach. They did all the interviews so afraid that somebody would zoom up and grab the pick from San Francisco and steal his guy that he kept it to himself. Flawed, because he missed out. Now, Matt Nagy was in Kansas City the first time before he came here. Andy Reid plugged him in and says, I want you to do a deep dive on the 3. So we can say what we want about Matt. Really good guy, not a good head coach. He's really good at recognizing quarterbacks. Now, Patrick Mahomes loves it. He said, I want you to do a deep dive on the 3 quarterbacks. So he does. He meets with them. He breaks down every play. He clears the whole game. And then he brings the 3 reports and Trace Armstrong, who's his agent for his hair, still has the 3 results. The reports say Deshaun Watson is hitting wrist, hitting ankle, has already torn his ACL, great leader, winner, has succeeded on the biggest stage against the best competition. I would be very concerned of his injury. Mitchell Trubisky, great kid, good athlete, loved by his teammates, excellent work ethic, super smart in school, as raw prospect as I've seen, the ultimate project. Patrick Mahomes, generational, give up whatever you have to, do not miss. That's right. They do nothing. 27-10. And the funny thing is, go back and pull that draft up on your computer and look at the number of teams that did not have a franchise quarterback that passed on it. Cleveland had the first and the 5th. Their organization was 50-50, taking Trubisky 1. Trubisky at 1 or Myles Garrett. They took Myles Garrett right. At 5, they took Denzel Ward. Buffalo did not have Josh Allen until the next year. They traded their pick to Kansas City, even though the owner went to Sean McDermott and the GM Brandon Beane and we really like that Patrick Mahomes. Nah, we're good. We're going to trade the pick and get a bunch of picks. That's the flaw with all those people traded. Get a bunch of picks. Better not be Patrick Mahomes on the board. They did. They got lucky. The next year they got Josh Allen. Carolina didn't have a superstar quarterback. Already, Cam Newton was going this way physically. They ended up taking, I want to say, Jason Ward, or one of the corners. They took a corner. And there's like 6 teams in the top 10 that needed a quarterback. Cleveland didn't have Baker Mayfield until the next year. They all left Patrick Mahomes on the board. So it was no slam dunk like people want to portray.
Yeah. No, you're right. Looking back, it's just so easy to be like, yeah, probably should have taken Patrick Mahomes. You know, that's the easy route there. But, Cap, we're going to get you out of here. I know you go into a wife with dinner or dinner with your wife. We have to go here.
marathon class. We're going to hike Mount Kilimanjaro Friday with us.
Wow.
Yeah,
You going to run?
Saturday.
Six on the board. That's a combination prize. I go to the county fair. You don't get to fix it up down on that one.
You
You
don't
go Top Chef. That's Top Chef's material.
The 4 of them are going to Africa 2 weeks from Friday. My wife is going to put 16 on
7 now for the
She's in amazing shape. She's a beast. And she said,
Yes.
what do you want on your 60th birthday? And she said, I want to go climb So we did the rim to rim of the Grand Canyon together. Hardest thing I've ever done. Super hard. On that day, 2 days. And 120 degrees to the blue. And we did it. She went to Peru and did hike the Machu Picchu with her sisters. No bathroom, nothing for 4 days. Now they're doing 8 days in Tanzania. No bathroom, 0.
I get tired walking up the stairs. That's impressive. To say the least.
Is that just some? Obviously, she just enjoys this. Like, having this meeting.
Yeah, she's
Gallon.
Gallon. And so they're going 2 weeks from Friday. 15 days. Me and our dog. So I got it.
Yeah, absolutely. We have. You want to be super chat?
Yeah, we have a super chat here from one of our OGs, Tito. He said, Cap and I have gotten into lots of arguments about Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. More and Gary seems like they're taking Caleb Williams. You agree with that?
If you asked me to go to, Rivers or Point to make a bet, I would bet you were taking Caleb Williams.
I would.
That does not mean that we think Justin is bad player. It does not. It just means, wow, reset the clock. I talked to Rick Spielman now, still is watching. Before he took that job, one of my dearest friends stayed watching. Dave and Rick were like this for years. They worked together when Rick was in the Bears front office, Dave was the head coach. He's like, you need to call Rick Spielman and get his thoughts on Caleb Williams. So I called him. He said, best quarterback of all the guys that have gone #1 I've seen other than Andrew Luck. So Luck won, this kid 1A. I said, Joe Burrow, I take this. Trevor Wilson, I take this. Baker Mayfield, I take this. Peyton Manning, I take this. It's the same stage of their career. If you take him over Peyton Manning, he said, absolutely. Look at tape on him and watch this kid. Because you got to put a support system around him. You got to develop him. He said, there's no way I would leave that.
Just a yard and a pick up there.
Well, he said a key word here. All of this maybe not right now, right? But I think now we're looking at some of the guys that are drafted, young guys, you kind of see them flourish. Like, even if they started off kind of slow, I think of like Howard Bourne, right? First 6 weeks were like, oh, what a flop of a thing. Now everyone loves him. So my question is, do you have faith that obviously just the new coach but do you have faith that this coaching staff under will be able to develop players such as high caliber players such as Caleb Williams?
First of all, you've got to fix your offensive line. And I think it's getting better. I really do. I think the narrative that we have a horrible offensive line is Darnell Wright is great. Kevin Jenkins, if he can stay on the field, is a hell of a guard. I hope they move him right. And then I have Darnell Wright and Kevin on the right. You got to go get a center. I can promise you, he comes back to it unless he's back up. He's not your starting that there's 0.
Yeah.
I hope not.
They really like the kid in Miami who was going to be a free agent before ACL. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. Braxton Jones, he's a good player. He's not a star. He can switch stance. I think they're going to add more to the offensive line. Nate Davis has to play better. Okay. Get the offensive line. Really affected him. So I think the offensive line is going to get sweet. I think Mark will be there. Darnell Wright's going to be a really good player. I think they got to get a number 1 or 1A receiver. Love defense. You tell me I got Robert Tuesday or Malik Neighbor. You're not getting Marvin Harrison. Get me one of those guys who's trying to be Higgins, free agency, Mike Evans. Now you become somebody else. Maybe it's Brock Powers, a receiving type tight end, where Cole could be used more as an inline and receiving type tight end. And then they got to get a rush. They've got to get somebody opposite of Montez Sweat. And I'm telling you, this team is taking a stop. Really believe it. Whether that's just the quarterback or
Cam, I have a question for you. As far as development goes, one of the biggest, actually not really talked about here, Matthews. How do you feel about bringing him back? Do you believe that was a good idea?
I would not have brought him back, but I would never have hired him. He's not my style. Yeah, probably. I like Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's my kind of coach. And in a city like this, Dan Campbell would just there'd be Campbell's restaurant. I mean, it would be insane. I've got a hat downstairs. There's a book you guys should read called Grit. G-R-I-T. Nick Carroll used the Grit test to know that book when he was drafting the the Grit test says, well, you might be the most talented guy. You might be not as talented, but guess what? You have grit. The other guy, there's just something missing. Grit's going to win out 9 times out of 10. So I wanted a guy like that.
Drive the New Orleans offense. We'll see what they can
Players like playing for him. Most things that are really good coaches. I didn't like Lovey either. The players who I have good friends with, like Colin Cruz said. He may have been lousy at the podium, but we love to play football. So I'll trust Ryan Poles. I'm going to trust him on the quarterback. I guess I got to trust him on the coach.
I mean, he did make improvements, and he sure knew how to run a defense. Like, there are some positive, signs, but I totally get, especially with the modern NFL, the ideal situation, you get your quarterback, you have a great offensive mind, boom. You know what I mean? You get your Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. I know that's like the fastest people out there, but that's kind of the way of the modern NFL. So, see what happens.
Yeah, so we can't own a kind of go to the defensive side of things, but Damon Johnson, you were going to say big or the next time, we'll go to the next one.
Elite cover shot. He's got to pay those. Remember, go back and pull up the quote from Bill Foley when they were comparing the Bears up. You got to have roughly 10 to 12 blue chip guys to be considered a playoff team and maybe make a run. Then got to get to who do we have that was blue chip guys? Maybe Roquan. Probably trending this way. He Hicks and Old. He's not even in the league anymore. Max, they got rid of him. They didn't have a lot of blue chip guys. You look at that team right now, Damon Johnson is a blue chip. By the way, I think the one is I think Tyler Boyd. I think Montez Sweat is a blue chip. I think Darnell Wright is a blue chip. Caleb Williams is in here. He better be. He better be. DJ Moore, blue chipper. You have maybe Tevin. I truly think they're headed in the right direction.
And then you can look at Tyreek Stevenson for the last years, but it's like their corners, I think they're all under 24 years old, which is incredibly rare in such a young set of players. And you look at the entire defense, it's just a lot of youth there. I want to kind of fast forward to March here. Are there any free agents you would love the Bears to sign, like maybe like Saquon Barkley, or just any name here that you're like, I want him here next year?
Saquon Barkley is a great football player. He was on ESPN today and he said, look, if we can make the money work, meet in the middle somewhere, I want to stay in there.
Just sit on this one.
They have running back on a second contract. $15 million, no thanks. I mean, like, look at Kansas City. Now, I think they've got to upgrade their offensive line in the offseason. and they need a receiver.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Seventh rounder.
And with 24 deficits staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Trying to shake off the interception and lift it low. This is Bell completing.
He's a damn good
From the
football player.
25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Man, we're close. We think we can take the next step. All right, let's roll the dice. For me, it's so clear. If I'm running the team, I'm taking check all the boxes. And then I'm getting a great receiver. I think the three wide
Sitting up for the throw, he chucks this one away from
like Brock Bowers,
That's down.
maybe not. Joe Hall, the offensive tackle from Notre Dame. There's going to be somebody really good sitting there. I think also at 9, most likely, you're probably going to have one of the top 2 teams. Yeah, so we would be disappointed if we picked something like that. Florida State. I would not know. Yeah, I know Ryan very well. He is the first guy I've seen who has wet his board as anyone I've ever met. And I'm long to take you through your first draft because you remember when you get picked up to you didn't take George Pickens defensive back. He said, my friend, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars flying around the country, interviewing everybody, and then when we lock in our board about 3 or 4 days before the draft, he said, why do I spend all that time and money and go, okay, we're on the clock. Quan Brisker is the #1 guy on our board. Let's go 5 slots down because we need a receiver. He says, that's just stupid. Set up a board, you take the best freaking guy on the board, period.
And their struggles continue here.
Going to become
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
low rated.
Wow. Well, Cap, I want to kind of filter that. So this year, similar to what the Texans did last year, Cap, they got their quarterbacks, then they moved up and got the edge. Who was the edge from?
Will Anderson.
Yeah, Will Anderson. So for me, say they love Caleb, they fall in love with him, he's their guy. They love
He's taken down.
right here. Is there even a possibility that you think they may actually
I would go from 9 to what number?
Dude, probably 3. I don't think you get here
3 or 4.
3 or 4. Well, this
I would be stunned.
Yeah.
I don't see any way he does that. I can tell you, he loves Malik Neighbors. Love.
Yeah.
But right here.
Where do you think he's going, though? He could be 6, 7.
They're saying that
he
he could go 5 or 6. If Garrison's gone, that kid could go.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brady Gunn getting set for
There's a guy
quarter
sitting
number
at
3 here.
that he really, really loves, and he doesn't have to give up the world to go up one spot.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't think so. I think he
Set
is
to resume. Here we go for
really
the
good
second
football player.
half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to
And then
receive
at 9
the
go,
kick.
well, I could trade
Let's
down.
see a return here from the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
J.J. McCarthy, now I can tell you, because one of my college roommates, attorney brother, works in the league. He loves J.J. McCarthy. Loves. He's like, dude, he may not be the #1 pick, but he said whoever gets him is getting a hell of a player.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
So,
He's the youngest of the group.
right, right.
3 years on first down.
Yeah, also we're actually kind of up in age.
Cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark.
That number.
I think their halftime
And you're going to
adjustments,
give me
what they
whatever it
talked
is.
about,
What
maybe
we
with
said
the
second,
special speed,
went
who
from
knows?
9 to 10,
Looks
got
like
an
they're ready to
extra
go.
4th round pick.
After the loss to start out here, 2nd and 11.
I'm not around St. Brown was a 4th round. You can find good football.
They run with Scott.
Yeah, and I think
They're
that's
going to
what
stoppage. There's going to be an injured Bear on the field.
I hope hearing that
Well, they come out and take a look at him. He will step aside
oh no,
for
we're on
just
the
a
clock.
moment.
I got to freak out here. I think is very nice because I feel like why we dress thing.
Yeah, I mean,
hope
based
so.
on some of the stories you hear, Captain, you probably heard way more than what David I heard. But like, some of
Here's
these decisions,
39.
you're like, what? You switched your mind like last second? Like it doesn't. You know,
Here's
so
Fields.
it's crazy how, like you said, Brian put thousands of hours
Incomplete.
in 2 minutes. You know,
Stepped out, feeling bad coverage.
I just got the NBA for I can tell you, Tommy Waddle is with me. I am literally at the final
Here comes the Bears punter now. And the way his offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And he was called out 3 times in the win last week as his first 2 years away. It'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard off the return. And the Saints will take over for the first down and 10.
Cannot play. I said, serious? He said he's late for
Getting set for the next drive to the Orleans offense.
Disappointed. He knew Jerry Krause, rest in peace. Fourth and fifth pick.
They begin on the run with Kamara. Working across midfield inside the 45. 47 yards rushing on 12 carries.
Totally off topic, Captain. Just to be quick. What are you doing with the
This
ball
guy
right
is running
Are you warming it up?
He wants to change what he scored for the Saints.
I think that's why I've nicknamed them the Settlers, because they settle for mediocrity. They don't care.
Yeah.
Hey, did you sell enough low
On
shirts?
first down,
People have spent a fortune on tickets. Yeah, but guess what? I don't
5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's
How do
second
you
down.
not want to win?
It's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy.
The owner of Golden State, Joe Lacob, you Google he went on Draymond Green's podcast. We play the cut all the time on the radio, where he said, I'm maniacal about one thing, winning championships. I don't care what the rules are, we'll figure it out. Win championships. That's all that matters. You're a billionaire.
As he throws there, incomplete.
First on the letting up today.
Yeah, I think a lot of the newer ones already, you start
It's been incredibly tough for them to get yards again, let alone put points up on the board.
Yeah, Mavs. You see it. It's like you come in because you want to win championships, and a lot of these old
This
guys.
offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on
No, but it was
third
cool to
down.
see Lonzo getting some spots up today. I know it's a long shot from him. He's probably not playing until next year. Yeah, but we'll get out of here. We have one last question. You want to ask me?
Yeah, of course. We asked all our
Coming on
guests.
now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here.
Okay, does it have to be someone just a player? Because I've got 3 or 4 guys that are among my close friends of my wife. Tommy Waddle is the radio partner.
The deficit's almost down to 18. These kickers now used to be the 50-plus short range for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, it's like funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out that
That guy,
quarterbacks,
you guys are
receivers, defensive backs,
That's our guy.
wrestlers, right?
Great.
Baseball players, they
Great.
find athletes all over the world, and now just specialists in the fitness.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next
You guys
drive.
ever pulled up the 85 highlight reel of the Bears season?
Yes, I have. And the playoff. I watched the playoff.
Yeah, the NFL film one that takes you from week 1 all the way to the Super Bowl.
Two says the exact same thing. When you start drawing
Literally.
that deep in your own territory,
Yeah, we typically we get Walter Payton and we get Devin Hester.
can you change the
Those
field
are the
position where you put
two
the field
confident
a little
answers.
bit? They didn't get that done. This time they'll string together a nice drive.
He better.
They lift themselves out.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, man. I mean, here's the part. He should have been first down.
That was a lightning fast deflation. He got it through it and fell to the ground.
Listen, that's great. If you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer.
I
This
think
case, the defenders came even faster and complete.
You're a Hall of Fame. Okay, then put you in. If there has to be 11 guys that year that get in because they're Hall of Famers, there's 11. And in 1 year, there's none. But yeah, Devin Hester is
Second
a
and
Hall of
10.
Fame. And I got a really good feeling it's Thursday he gets it. That's Steve McBride.
Now it's Fields.
It's gonna be a good night. Pat, again, you can check out his YouTube recap. We have the link in the description, actually. The cap. Thank you so much for
The
taking
Saints are going to
Yeah,
take
thanks for
over.
asking, man. Keep in touch with you guys. Need to give me a yell. I'm right here.
And I appreciate your time.
You guys have a great night.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll start in excellent field position.
Well, shout out to
following the
Cat. We'll go
INT.
ahead and switch David Quick on YouTube here. But shout out to Cap for hopping on. You heard it here first. Devin Hester, not first ballot, but Hall of Famer this week.
Let's go.
Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I got a DM today. Same thing, but hey, I'll let you know.
This defense again really making things
I'm not
tough.
breaking news.
Stop it for
I kind of said it, and now I feel really confident.
To put this offensive precarious position. We know this
So
is
it's about damn time, man. I really
guys in the middle of this game. It's got to be priority one.
If anyone
I'm just happy he's in, bro.
it.
Because he's the best at his position, hands down. There's no better returner ever, so it only makes sense, right? I don't care if you're a kicker, you're a long snapper, if you're the best at your position,
Now it's 2nd and 10.
there's no one that can touch you. How are you not in the Hall of Fame? It's a team sport. Every position matters, so I'm glad.
Well, and here's the thing: we're never going to see Hester. We're never going to see a Hester player again. Like Cordell Patterson, maybe close to it. But the rules now and the limitations on kickoff, unless they change them, it's like we're never going to see an electric player like Devin Hester ever again. Punt returns maybe, but it's like he changed the game. So shout out to him. Shout out to him. Yeah, what do you say?
No second. At least you want to see that 2-year run. That 2007 is sophomore year.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
It's field goals. I mean, just field goals.
Situational.
Right at the left,
I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. They are in this game. They got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage.
Also, what I think is nice about him, and I think JP talked about this, he played for them at Miami, is that he came in, he was a kick returner, punt returner, but he was corner. So he really played on defense, right? He didn't play a lot, but he played. Then he developed to being like a decent wide receiver, like big play player. Run a slant, 12-yard slant, take it. I think it was his first touchdown to wide receiver. It was like a 12-yard slant, cross the middle, good luck, this returner, he also put in the work to develop his skill set to be a starting wide receiver. Jake Cutler for a good amount of time. So that's all him. Great to hear.
56 yards rushing for
Yeah, and I want to bring up that comment real quick, Jack. First of all, shout out to our producer, Jack. He's amazing. But there was a comment here, new subscriber, a very good listener. Just want to go ahead and shout out to Willie Johnson for going ahead and joining. Vicky, I'm going to let you have this 10-year segment. If you're new here, this is what we got to do for the program.
First off, shout out to Willie Johnson on YouTube. If you're listening here, you guys are the first podcast. That's why everybody here is by the way, I love it. Now we know you do new.
Here's a big one in this third
So
quarter.
appreciate you to
He'll go for it on 4th
So if you
down.
are new, we always ask.
Here's Carter Throw.
Go ahead and give that hashtag at the end of the show as well. And of course, if you love the show, give us a like, a sub as well. You can get the notification bell so we have new guests on. Don't miss our live on our Apple, Spotify, all our other podcast listeners. Well, first off, thank you for listening. Whatever you do, we are, like the reviews help out not only with pushing the show forward, but if there's things we would work on and change, we take that into account as well. So we really do appreciate that. And then also, when Cap was on to Jack, I think there was a super chat. The one at Casino, we didn't get to get it well because Cap was talking, obviously. Throwing that one back up. Yeah, here we go. This is, I did kind of chuckle. I don't know if Cap was always, but I really
I think there was another one. I think there was another one.
Yeah, this is from Derek Rose. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. The Cap looks like Adam Reed after UFL. So yeah, if you see me laughing out when Cap wasn't saying something funny, that's probably it.
I kind of screwed up there. That's messed up. They shouldn't do Cap like that at all. Shout out to Derek Rose though. That comment right there when I read it, man, I tried to like not smile, so I wanted to take a drink of water, and I spit on my water. I was like, that's messed up. But first of all, Adam Rain, he's awesome, legendary. Shout out to Cap again. I really enjoyed him hopping on. I know we've been trying to get him on the pod for a while. When it's kind of crazy when you're in the middle of football season, everyone is so busy. So speaking of which, the off season is going to be new. I think we talked about the schedule, but it's going to be once a week, probably Monday or Tuesdays. We'll be having new guests every single week. A lot of good ones coming up. Shout out to Scott, Buffalo Bears, Justin, this is the other Super Bowl.
Yeah, really? So this is a $5 ticket for only on YouTube. Appreciate it. Said, I just want to hear you shake the ref's ass after he just stands there. Never lobbied for a. You know what? That is fair, but I will say, I think there was late in the season. I think we saw him finally kind of go crazy.
Yeah.
It's not as crazy as some of these others. But you know what? You know what? Like Cap said, you can never do it either. So I agree with you.
That's a really nice job. I think making up the run plays and protecting it and blocking it.
But yeah, we do want to see a little.
From an optics standpoint, yeah, especially when your team's kind of shit in the bed every week and you have a poor record. Like if you're 10-1 and you don't see fools jumping up and down the sideline and getting pissed off, you could probably live with it. But when you're 0-4 to start the season and your quarterback's taking late shot, late hits, not getting calls consistently, you didn't get one in the entire year. I think Cap did it perfectly. In regards to the decision to bring him back, he's not my type of coach. I wasn't jumping up for joy when they hired him in the first place, and then now when they brought him back, I'm still not completely sold. But like you said, he did that defense, that turnaround that he did, kept the team together amidst Alan Williams leaving, all the chaos. Lou Getsy, keep on calling screen after screen and screwing up the game plan and just all the things that went awry last year. He still he didn't lose the locker room, so I got to give him credit. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you know what? I said this. I'm saying, listen to this question. I said this. Winning cures all. So, why did he care about loving his optics? The man won it. Playing for the NFC North every year. If it's obviously not there. But if we start to see, oh my gosh, we're going to be the NFC North next year, especially with a rookie quarterback or something like that, people are going to be like, people doesn't make a team, but you're going to hear less and less of that because all we care about is winning.
Still leading 10 yards. Let's do it again.
Hopefully, at the end of the day, that's what you get. Every week you get on, nothing else really matters. Except for, I guess you could say the Dallas Cowboys. What do you think?
No, I was going to read that comment back up. I can't read part of it, but I do appreciate the comment. Short said it's crazy how good with podcast is. I'm not, being fanboy. It's exactly what I expect to listen to. We really do appreciate it, and I think on a lot of these shows, me and Dave are just fans just like y'all. We want to give you fan experience. We don't have experience in the NFL, so we do not any coaching trees, anything like that, not ex-players. So we just want to give our perspective, bring in people who do have the experience, like David Kaplan, people who have knowledge about the team, like Jared Payton, and let them give their thoughts and we kind of move on. So we really do appreciate that. We're trying to make it just come and listen and listen. It feels like you're talking to your friends.
Yeah, no, absolutely. First of all, this podcast it wouldn't be possible without sportsmarket.com. Our new home. We've been with them over a year now. You can check out all my writings over there and articles. But I do cover the Bears for SportsMockery. Again, shout out to them because they've been a great partner. But yeah, the love. I think we're almost at 2,000 subs. I don't keep saying it, but it's been a really quick climb just from 2K to 3K, and it's because we all love the Bears, and I don't know why, but we talk about it on a weekly basis, and it's fun to kind of continue to grow the community. And again, shout out to Jack and Michelle, and then Ryan is sick with the graphics. If you look at the thumbnails, the jersey swaps, he's killing it. So we're excited, man. We're excited. I do have some fun graphics.
Yeah, let's say, we'll get back to this. We do have some things in the pipeline. Fun stuff on this. Well, so, I was going to say, this will be the fans complain about the things that go wrong with this team. Really do. Really yell at us about that session. What's wrong with this?
Absolutely. If you guys have any questions, we're going to probably end the show here in a little bit. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. Jack, you can star them. That'd be great. We'll kind of take those to end the show, but there was this is one to review for the Apple podcast. He gave us 5 stars. He goes, great pod. Only suggestion is try not to talk over or interrupt each other as I'm talking about me and you. And I was just like, right here. I was laughing. I was like, that is so true. And we've been doing this is episode 58, 68? Yeah, 58. So eventually we'll get there. But I thought that was funny. But if you guys want to go ahead and rate the pod, maybe it was really on Apple or Spotify, but maybe we can go ahead and start sharing some of the funny ones. Even the bad ones. Like I said, hey, we gave us 5 stars, so we're doing okay. But anyways, Becky, before we kind of close here, before we get to the final questions, what are your thoughts on Justin and Caleb? I know we talked about it prior to Cap coming on, but we both kind of been doing this QB meter. And I've seen your tweets, man. I've seen you kind of, you're poking at the Justin Fields, and I'm like, this man, who is this? Because I'm poking at everyone, the coaches, you say, I don't use that word. Yeah, but it's like, you can do me. Let's go ahead and say it.
Let me back up. Maybe both wasn't the exact right words. And here's why I've been poking, whatever word you want to use, but it makes it like I'm not. I love Justin. I've always wanted Justin. I wanted Justin from the start. I was so ecstatic when he was straight up, right? But the internet has become so toxic. Bears Twitter, it's been so much player instead of team. I want the best for the team. I can still support Justin, right? But it's almost like we talk about like politics, bro. It's like you're either left or right, and I'm like, no, I want what's best for the country. Whatever route that may be, apples to apples. But the point is that I was like, it seems like we're going the Caleb route. Not my decision. It's just I'm going up on once it's beating me, it's like what it's beating you guys. People are commenting all this. It's Fields. And I'm like, look, when there's smoke, there's fire. It seems like there's a lot of smoke that we're going to go with. Yes, we bring on the show. They were most likely going to go. It just seems like that's the route. And I think the people who are backing on Fields are almost like double downing. And I'm almost like, hey, like, come over to my side. It's like, okay, you know what? I have to face the reality of what I ultimately really want. The problem is, so let me flow, right? A little bit easier and take it wherever you like. I guess this is the route we're going. And then you'll be all right. That's what I'm saying. It'll be easier for you to handle. But I know the Colt word is not a good one. I definitely stirred the pot with that. But I left it up there and said, hey, that's learning. I can always point to myself later and say, look up.
I love it, James. I don't know if you've been Caleb thirsty lately. Well, I mean, like, I do. It's like, experience people are showing me. I'm now being more excited. I was like, no, I think very happy. But now that I realize that my return, I'm almost selling it more on the strength, so when it does happen, I'm already feeding, you know? Yeah, I might be like intentionally feeding myself, but it's just to get myself ready for what's about to happen. I'd rather be in that side than like be so in the field and then
Chicago, right? 72 yards.
Well said. I'm going to give you a pass here. No more picking. You're better than that, man. I think it is. I think you're right, though. Writing is on the wall. I really believe it is. I was messaging Kyle Long. He was we didn't get him on the pod earlier, but his family, his wife had a baby, happy for them. But the one thing he sent me after, we talked about, I'm not going to make it, but he was like, gotta be Caleb. And I was like, all right. So it's like everyone we talk to, everyone. It's just like a no-brainer. And it sucks for Field because the Bears, if they were at 9 right now, they didn't have number 1. The Bears are in such a crazy, unique spot, once again, where you can't pass up on a guy, which I watched his film up December, I think is when I went through that, and I haven't done it since, really, but that's when I kind of dove into it, and I was like, somebody just hear about, we heard about Caleb, weeks before, after they started 0-4, and so I was like, okay, but really got into his film, and I'm not a guru or anything like that, I'm not looking to change it, but it's like, watching him, sure he's smaller, but it's like the one thing I know about him is he is insanely gifted when it comes to throwing the football. Not just how he, the deep ball, it's his release. It's so different than Fields. It's almost like C.J. Stroud, I would say. It's so quick. And for me, it's like having a guy like that, I think that's rare. And the guy who can get off, it's weird. I know Fields kind of does those arm angles. It's like Mahomes is even better at that. And the one guy we keep on hearing, whether we like it or not, whether you hate it, this is Patrick Mahomes' as far as Caleb Williams' prospect. And I think the scouting report, I want to end with this. I tweeted out last week, and I wanted to read you both Justin's scouting report and then Williams' scouting report. And this is from, I think, Daniel Jeremiah. So this is Caleb Williams coming out of college. He goes, Williams has average height and a thick, muscular build. Speaking of which, I'm excited to see the combine and where he is height-wise, because I think that will really play a part of it for me. He's 6 foot, and he's 5'11", oh shit. 6'1", even better. I don't think it matters. He comes like, when it comes to shooting, even Fields, who's 6'3", he gets balls batted down consistently. Or throws that help it. But to continue the scouting of Eagles, he's a natural thrower who delivers the ball with accuracy and velocity from a variety of platforms and arm angles. He can power the ball into tight windows while stationary on the move, but also finesse the ball when needed. He has lightning quick hands in the RPO game, which is very, very good. On the offense, he's a dynamic runner, which I don't think a lot of people understand. If you've seen highlights, maybe do, but he makes defenders look silly in space. He can run by you, through you, or make you miss. He gets all just a bad habit to USC during the 2023 season. He hunts big plays and always looks to his plays with his legs instead of taking checkdowns. Sounds familiar. Also, he can get too loose with the ball when creative, swinging it wildly, which leads to fumbles. Familiar. His creativity makes him special. He will reach the one scheduled level. Overall, Williams has areas in which he needs to improve, but he has a franchise-altering upside. So, I'm going to bring it now to Justin Fields, 2021. James Rothschild, he says, Fields has good size, excellent arm strength, and remarkable athleticism at the quarterback position. He has produced monster numbers both passing and rushing in the Buckeye spread system. He's at his best when he throws on time and in rhythm. The ball jumps out of his hand as he deliver it accurately and all levels. When the defense takes that initial target away, he's had issues quickly avoiding that opportunity, which is late on throws and also resulted in sacks. This shit was on the money. This was 3 years ago. He has shown flashes of quickly getting deeper in progressions, which he's done at the pro level as well. He said, see 2021 Sugar Bowl versus Clemson, but that part of his game is still a work in progress. He's dynamic as a runner. His first step is explosive, and he pulls away from the defenders with ease. He's also incredibly tough, as evidenced by his performance after the majority of the semifinal game against the Tigers. Overall, I think Fields has a chance to be special, but it's going to take some time for him to speed up his clock in the passing game. So first of all, shout out to Daniel Jeremiah. What the? This man can see the future. It's something. That's that. I mean, Here's the thing that's sad. Here's the thing that's sad because I really believe that Justin would have been somewhere else and maybe could have developed him and worked on those issues they talked about. He'd be farther ahead, man. But instead, he's going into wherever he goes next year, he's going to have a new old team. That top there is. Obviously, you know, the greats overcome it, but not everyone's going to get it.
That's the Patrick Mahomes. He gets paired with the greatest offensive mind of all time on a team that already has already has Hall of Fame, Travis Kelce, Tyreek, just drop one of the greats with other greats, right? If you pick him up and drop him in Chicago, that's not going to be the case. Doesn't mean he wouldn't still be great, but you think he's battling for 3-4-5 championships and he's on Chicago Bears, we would have picked him with Sean Fox on his way out. That's why it's so important for these guys to follow the team is, you know, it's not like the worst organization, right? And they build around them, this team that's built around them. So, and that's another thing too. There was I think it was
the offense on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3-15.
44. Said you guys think Tom Pelissero reports exactly what
Get to about the 46. Just a 1-yard pickup there.
That's my point right there, right? Obviously, we're not
the first half go because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. So they've made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
We're going to go with Taylor. Like, you're already working on like how we're going to build this team.
48 on his first punt. This is a good kick as well.
Successful is like that. The success rate is much higher than what it would be if you drop them into a situation where people are out, right? So that's. I just feel like this team, because
they have set for their next drive in the offense. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here.
5, 6, 7 players on this team. He's not coming in at the worst situation this season. He's taking third in 2017.
So you said nice words, but a couple plays to be in low 15, middle of the pack.
We're not that. We're lower middle area. So. And we're it's third young team, and the team is just shy of the what our record shows,
this is first and 10,
and Caleb Hudson is only going to make us better. He's going to, obviously, he's a rookie. There's no perfect prospect, right? We all understand that. But I think that's why, and not just me, but everybody on the show, things that we're probably going to go the Caleb route, because it just makes sense. Much as we love Justin, we will support him where he goes. I'm sorry, it's Bears first, right? But like wherever he goes, obviously I want to see him do well and whatnot. Not as well as us. At the end of the day, right?
I heard there was a I don't I think it was one of those Twitter accounts that just like say stuff and see if it sticks or whatnot. But I'm like, I would prefer him probably to go to you know, imagine. But anyway, so I agree. I root for if he goes to Atlanta, wherever he goes. He's a good fan of his for a while. I mean, I think it might be a lot different than yeah, he's more talented.
Mitch Trubisky pulls us out at like your house, like Kaplan said. Yeah, you're fired, right? But
this offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions. Have a look at it, 3rd and 10.
Right? And he's saying, because he brought up the Falcons, that's like a pipe dream for me. Like, it makes sense for Falcons. Pipe dream's obviously that first rounder, that top 8 pick. I don't think that's happening, but he's saying that more likely that the trade comes from a team that is in the mid-section, like the mid-teens, because they don't have the capital to stay enough to get, you know, one of the top 3 4 guys, right? So you think about like 11 for the Panthers. Look at all they had to do.
So you're thinking, you said a middle team? A middle team in the draft?
Yeah, so think about like
Pittsburgh,
like 12 to 19. Yeah, in that area, right?
Pittsburgh's at 20.
Prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This one is going pretty well before. They've come in and had a little bit of touchdowns off of the board. It's tackling a yard short of the marker. Maybe good gain of 9 on first down.
Quarterbacks, maybe they're like
Second down and a little yard here.
He's a little older. JJ McCarthy doesn't really do much for us, right? So they don't fall in love with that, but they're good enough because we're in the midsection, right? It's like the worst team in the NFL, and what they're missing is just that. You actually have the 40-yard line.
Gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's what I was looking at.
Carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here. Charles on the field. Back out a new set of downs. Continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front of the guys.
Yeah, so let's keep the back over the portions of the top 10. Carolina, Washington, Chicago, Washington, New England, Arizona, Chargers, Giants, Tennessee, Atlanta, and Chicago again. And then you have Minnesota, Denver, Las Vegas, New Orleans, Indianapolis, Seattle, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, Rams, Pittsburgh, Miami, Philadelphia. So for me, one of the hot, I say Pitt would be an interesting one because they're kind of in that no man's land where like to move up to get into the top, it's not feasible. However, you give me number 20, give me number 20 for Fields. We're getting rid of him. Give me number 20, absolutely.
Well, think about it, right? Who was at 20 when we went up to get Fields? Look what we had to give up to go from 20 to 11. You know what I mean? So there's no way they could go from 20.
Cost you a future first, a second, and a third.
Right, exactly. So that's a good one. I think that's probably the latest we'll go, though, because everything after that is playoff teams and the quarterbacks are pretty much same. So
what about the Raiders? I don't think the Raiders would trade up first rounders.
No, they wouldn't because look who their offensive coordinator is.
And the thing is, realistically,
get paired with Getsy again.
Yeah, forget these stuff.
Getsy's the first away.
That's how bad that is.
Look at this. I think there's a decent inclusion, right? You got Pittsburgh, you got New Orleans, Denver, Miami,